I thirst. Don't you just love this gospel about thirst? You know, it's interesting. This series that we're doing began with Jesus physically thirsting in the desert, physically hungry in the desert, and demonstrating to us that it is possible to resist the devil even in utter weakness. And he showed us how we can do that by just remaining immersed in God, staying close to God. Last week, of course, was the whole thing on prayer, going up the mountain, Peter, James, and John, and having the Lord transfigured before them. And how important it is that we have very strong prayer lives. Next week, we're going to encounter the man born blind, and the week after that, the raising of Lazarus. All these wonderful things that come from John's gospel. But this week, we get this unnamed woman at the well. This encounter, this brief encounter that revolutionized an entire area of the Holy Land. When I was first ordained, I seemed to remember this pressure that I felt. It was kind of an implicit kind of a thing. It wasn't always explicit or very rarely explicit, where people wanted me to basically normalize their fallen condition. They wanted me to try to make it seem like whatever they were going through was okay, that everything was fine, don't worry about it. And yet still I would listen to some of their stories and I would say, but that's not good. That's not good that your family's broken up. It's not good that you're fighting. It's not good that all of these things are happening. But for some reason, people would... I remember one time talking on stewardship, of giving of your time, your talent, your treasure, of being generous from the depth of your heart, doing everything you can to serve the Lord. And someone actually came up to me afterwards and said, "Oh, Father, I don't have time for any of that." You don't have time for God? I think that process had happened. There was a lot who were kind of lowering the bar, lowering the standards, if you will, and making it that much easier for sinners to just keep sinning. I'm going to say that today we raise the bar back up. For each and every one of you, I want to raise that bar back up. See, this woman, this unnamed woman revolutionized an entire town. Think about this for a second. This woman, her life was a mess. Let's just say it as we see it. Her life was a mess. Who knows what her history is? We're not told her history, but maybe she was abused as a child. Maybe she was hurt. Who knows? Now she's going from relationship to relationship, just looking for somebody that would satisfy her, that would make her whole, and she's just not finding it. As the expression goes, she'd been looking for love in all the wrong places, and whatever she kept finding was false. It was not true satiation to satisfy her soul. And so she kept going and kept going. And let's face it, to go from one to another, that became a total embarrassment for her. Her life was in shambles, and she knew it. She knew it to the point where she goes out to the well in the middle of the day. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever been in the desert. It's very hot at noon. It's not a fun thing to be walking through the desert to get to the well. But she did because she didn't want to be embarrassed. She didn't want to be around people because they would scorn her and they would mock her. And so what does she do? She goes out stealthily in the middle of the day. This woman is the epitome of each and every one of us. She had lowered the bar in her life so low, it was so low that her thirst just seemed unquenchable. And she just decided, forget about it. I'm never going to have that opportunity. I'm never going to be fully satiated. I'm never going to be satisfied. Therefore, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And it wasn't working out for her, and it was getting worse. But Jesus says, I can satiate your thirst. And the woman looks at him, and in all honesty, let's face it, if you lived in a desert kind of environment and someone says, listen, I can give you water that you'll never thirst again, I want some of that. I'm on top of that. And that's what she does. But Jesus is making it clear, no, I will be the one to finally satisfy you. Now, it's unclear to me, but Jesus must have peered right into her eyes and saw right into her soul, and even saw all that brokenness. And in that one split second, she realized what it meant to be loved. she realized what it meant to finally have someone actually love her and not use her, not abuse her. And in that one instant, she was satisfied. That's what we're all searching for. We need Jesus Christ. We need to give ourselves to him completely. I know people will come up to me and say, well, you know, my family comes first. And I smile and I say, no. Jesus comes first, and then your family will be okay. We need to really devote ourselves more strongly to Jesus. We can no longer have this casual half and half kind of a thing. We truly need to be fully immersed in Jesus. Now, Father Langford, it works out, week 3, we contrast with this woman at the well, the Blessed Mother. Talk about a woman who was completely satisfied. Talk about a woman who was completely immersed in Jesus. I mean, she bore the Son of God in her womb. Talk about being intimate with Christ. And she's that example at the other extreme of what true peace looks like, of what true joy looks like. She could stand at the foot of the cross on which her son is being crucified and still not lose it. I'm sure her heart was broken, but she still didn't lose it because she knew her son loved her to the point of giving her a new son, of caring for her even after he departed. She knew love. And she would have done anything, I'm sure, to help her son. But she knew love. And so I go to the Blessed Mother a lot of times only because she knew love. And she knows how to help me to be satisfied. She knows what I need to be truly satisfied. And so I do thirst. And I keep feeling this thirst again until suddenly I stop in prayer. Suddenly I come before the Blessed Sacrament for a period of time. I go to confession and I'm released from my sins. And all of a sudden my soul is once again at peace. I think so many souls are so disturbed today. I think the devil's having a field day because we've lowered the bar so low that, well, Jesus is just a good buddy of mine. He's just a guy I chat with once in a while. No, he's my everything. He's my all. He's your all. This was what Mother Teresa realized on that train to Darjeeling, that she had to give herself completely to him. And by doing that, all of a sudden she could look at other human beings and only see the face of Christ. She could only see others who needed to be loved as she was loved by him. But we have to experience that love if we are to give that love. And if we do the bare minimum to call ourselves Catholic, we will not experience love. We will not be satiated. Our thirst will only get bigger and bigger, and we'll keep seeking to satisfy it in all sorts of crazy ways. Look at all the pleasures that we have in our lives that we think are so important. So many people will say, oh, food is my go-to. Oh, I go to get a glass of wine when I'm feeling a little frustrated. Oh, I spend a lot of time on the internet looking at pornography. Oh, and it goes on, and the list goes on, and people are not satisfied, and they're never quenched, and they keep searching to the point where they're so disturbed, they're so anxious, they're so wound up that you don't want to talk to them. Our families need to become harbors of peace and of hope and of love. And that is why we need to bring Jesus Christ into our homes. And so continue reading the book. Continue reading this week and reflecting on Our Lady and St. Therese. The last 2 days are going to be a little St. Therese are going to be snuck in there. Keep reading it and meditating on it. But also, too, spend time here in the church during the holy hours from 6 to 7. Come before Jesus. You need him. You know you need him. One of the most profound things that I ever saw was when St. John Paul II went back to Poland for the first time as Pope. In a communist country, 1 million people showed up in the square. 1 million people showed up in the square and in front of the communists began chanting, "We need God. We need God." They knew it. They knew that they needed God. And when the communist government was trying to take them away, all the more, they thirsted all the more, to the point where they had this opportunity to say out publicly, no, I know my needs will be satisfied when I get Jesus, when I have God in my life. My everything has to be Jesus. And when I have Jesus fully, then I can be for you what I need to be, which is helping you satisfy your thirst, helping you to know that you are very thirsty and that there is a way to satisfy it. Like the woman at the well, I hope today before you leave you can drop your jar and run into the town and let everybody know, there's this guy that I know, there's this guy that I met. It was so wonderful. I felt so enwrapped in his love. I felt so touched by him. He knows everything about me. His name is Jesus Christ, and I want you to meet him too. I want you to know him too. That's how Mother Teresa did it. She went feeding others because she saw Christ in them, and then she became Christ for them. And so, yes, I thirst, you thirst, but Jesus is the way to satisfy that thirst. And so make your decision today. Is it going to be Jesus or the things of this world that'll never satisfy? Will it be true satiation for the thirst that's in my life, the love that I need, that person the only perfect love that can satisfy? Or is it going to be all the false thirsts and all the false satisfaction? Make the choice today, my dear brothers and sisters, because when you get it right, you will know what I'm talking about. You will be fully, fully satisfied. And that satisfaction wells up within us to the point where we will be like the woman at the well. Come and meet this one who touched my heart so dearly that I am completely satisfied now and need nothing but him. God bless you.